Okay, we have a rational function that we would like to graph, and we're going to compile the following information and then try to take a look at our graph. So the first question that you want to look at is, do I have a hole in my graph? And you want to look at that first because that will it could change your answer if you have one of vertical and horizontal asymptotes. So the first thing I want to do is factor and see if anything cancels. The top's real easy to factor, x plus 2, x plus 4. And then our bottom's already factored for us, x and x plus 2. So notice I have that same factor, x plus 2, on top and bottom, so that cancels. So immediately I know I have a hole in my graph. And here's what I'm left with, my x plus 4 over x. And we'll come back to that in just a second. The factor that cancels, set it equal to 0, and solve. And notice it says x equals -2, so -2 is the x-coordinate of the hole. Now, it's not mandatory to find the y-coordinate, but if you're making a graph, it could be helpful. So go to your reduced form, which is this guy, and we're looking at y equals x plus 4 over x. Well, if I'm trying to find the y-coordinate for the hole, I can take my -2 and plug it in for x. So I would get -2 plus 4 over -2. That's going to give me a 2 on the top, divided by a -2, so -1. So when I go to plot this guy, I can plot it as -2, -1. Now, from this format, we want to identify vertical and horizontal asymptotes. Vertical asymptotes always come from the bottom. Set it equal to 0 and solve. X equals 0. There's my vertical asymptote. Horizontal asymptote. You want to think bottom heavy, top heavy, or even Steven. It's even Steven, so I divide the coefficients. So that would be a 1 over 1, which simplifies to 1. And then x-intercepts. We'll find these manually. The calculator can be helpful. At the x-intercept, it means that y equals 0. So working from my reduced form, I'm going to put 0 in for y. And I'm going to put it over 1 so I can cross multiply. X plus 4 times 1 and 0 times x, and solve. So there's my x-intercept, -4. And if you'd rather have your x-intercept as a point, -4, 0. Now, before I go to the y-intercept, and I could find that algebraically, but I want to point something out to you graphically because it makes it a little easier. Let's put in some of the information that we already know. X equals 0 is my vertical asymptote. So I have my dashed line going through x equals 0. And now y equals 1 is my horizontal asymptote. So let's put that guy in as well.